All right, blue-red treasures. This is a deck that we played once before that we had someone ask me to run back. Basically, it's got Storm the Vaults as a way to kick up and generate lots of mana. We've got Spell Swindle as a way to generate lots of treasure tokens to help Storm the Vaults flip eventually. We have Karn plus Treasure Map plus Tezzeret as an alternative win conditions. And then our main win condition is flip Storm the Vaults to generate a bunch of treasures and do a large explosion. We've got things like Shivan Fire, Lava Coil, Fountain of Renewal, and Sailor of Means to not die to aggro every game. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Let's play some matches of the old Magic the Gathering. Don't you have to wait for 32 people to join the league before you queue up? No. I actually have every card in this deck that has a foil copy. I already have a foil copy of. Yeah, Sand's fine. Yeah, the apply all button is a great improvement. Sleeves, 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 sleeves. Do 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 do. Magic's great. I love Magic. Huge tracts of land. Yep. So, do I fire, expansion, fire, kill this Wild Growth Walker? I think I do, right? It feels bad doing taking the 2-for-1 there, but I think it's correct to do so. Alright, well that gets us to Spell Swindle mana, which is sweet. Quench is also a decent pickup. And then once even if we just swindle like a 3-drop, that gets the explosion into a relevant range. Just gonna go ahead and crack this, I think. And I'm gonna wait on this, because if I wait until I draw one more land here, I'll be able to play it plus still Spell Swindle in the turn. It's possible I should have waited one turn to pop the Fountain, just because if I waited a turn, I would have been able to gain one more life, which changes the clock on the Jade Light Ranger. So, like, if I Shivan Fire the Ranger, that's better if they have no more Explore creatures. But if they have any number of other Explore creatures, Shivan Firing the Wild Growth Walker is much better. I'm gonna cast this in as a gain 4. Yeah, if we counter Carnage Giant, we still get 6 treasures. That is correct. Get out of here. That turn 12 live Quench. Taste it. So this is X is 5. Go. Crisis, draw a million. Alright, only one Karn left in our deck. We have 3 copies of Tezzeret still, though. That is a dead draw. I guess this still tags Crisis, which is nice. Now the packs are just sitting there teasing me. Yep. Yes. Sailor of Means is going the distance. He's going for speed. He's all alone in this time of need. He's racing and pacing and plotting the goals. Are we? I think we're winning. We're like super far ahead, right? Yeah. All right. All right, let's do it. That felt like reasonable, right? So Star and Rekindling Phoenix both seem great here. Is Shivan Fire good enough? It's probably not. Stroke is probably okay. Quench doesn't seem great. This is probably not a Fountain of Renewal matchup, huh? They're not that aggressive. How do you feel about Storm the Vaults? This is probably not a matchup where I need to ramp up into this. It's possible that this card's just bad in this deck. Believe it or not. It's very possible that this just shouldn't be in the deck. Again, when people are talking about cards that we can add and make changes with, make a case for why that card's worth playing. What problem do you envision this deck having, and how are we solving it by making that change? That's the correct way, in my opinion, to approach making changes to decks. Thanks to the ad bits, Critfall. I appreciate the support. Hope you're having a good one. Yep, non-subs can still cheer. I'm going to lead on the treasure map here, because I want to give myself the best chance to hit my land drop next turn, I think. So if you are a non-sub, cheering even 1 penny gets your message through. If you want to drop me a message on occasion without full subbing. New Bolas seems awesome. Seems real strong. It's unfortunate that, like, these things keep having 4 power, so my Sailor can't block them. They have a window to stick something scary here. If they, like, play Vivian down tick, we're probably in trouble. Hopefully this has 3 power or less. Probably not. Yep. 3 maps, 0 lands. I guess they didn't fix the flat shuffler in this update. I think we're dead here, huh? Yeah, I'm just gonna pack it in. There are 25 lands in this deck, or 24? There's only 24. Yeah, I'm gonna go up to. I'm gonna add a 25th land after we're done with this set. Rage at a land claims another victim. Nah, I mean, just looking at the curve of this deck, it should have 25 in it. I'll probably add a Memorial to Genius, so I add a utility land. Well, I wanted to scry on my upkeep, so, you know. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pass here. Azumael, thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I want to just flip this treasure map ASAP. There could be merit to playing the Sailor this turn because then I get to guaranteed Spell Swindle next turn, but probably don't really need to Spell Swindle on 4. I chose not to activate the map there because I want to be able to expansion a discard spell back at them if they play it this turn, I think. I do, however, want to scry my upkeep next turn, so it'll flip the map over. I think I want to expansion this back at them. Do I? Then they guaranteed take Spell Swindle, I lose a treasure. Now, I don't actually think that's worth it. I think I'd make them choose between taking expansion and taking Spell Swindle. This is worth a card draw once this map flips over too, so like I'm giving up a card draw to do that, and I'm giving up flipping my map sooner. And every turn that my map's an artifact, it's more vulnerable. I would like to block. Perfect. So how much do I want to Explosion for here? So I think I want to do it for 5. Just like kill their Branchwalker. Because like this, spending treasures on this turns these treasures into cards, which is fine. And then like I want to leave 2 up here so I can like cast Disdainful Stroke if I draw it. Well, that was less than ideal. Drawing 5 also means that I don't have to discard cards, which is nice. Because assuming I drew better cards than this. Yep. So we're not in a great spot at the moment, but like these represent 2 card draws on the board. I'm gonna draw to start, because if they have a counterspell, I want to be able to Spell Swindle. Perfect. Actually, do I want to Spell Swindle here? I don't think I do. I think I just leave Spell Swindle for a bigger spell. Like, if they jam, like, Vivian or a Crisis, I, like, get 6 treasures. That's fine. They play Jade Light, I'm gonna Swindle it. How many counterspells do they have? They could have a lot of counterspells here. I think I'm actually just gonna pass for now. I do want to add a land. I'm gonna add a Memorial to Genius. It's a utility land. Spell Swindle with map is actually like really sweet. It's good with expansion explosion too, so it's got a lot of angles to allow us to do stuff with the mana from it. Are you sure you want to target Carnage Giant with Spell Swindle? Yes, I am confident. I appreciate you asking though, Arena. I really truly do. I'm gonna draw a card with this to start. This still lets my Karn Struck trade with the Carnage Tyrant, but I could have hit a what's it called there? I could have hit a one of my Stars of Extinction. Spell Swindle also good with Karn. Board's got a lot of carnage going on here. Yep. So Karn's down. You're still got a bunch of draws towards my thing.
Farewell, and thank you for the lesson.
Farewell, and thank you for the lesson. Alright, so we'll probably Giant Explosion them at end of turn because I have expansion to counter their counter. Unless, of course, they play a Disdainful Stroke. I could potentially just have lethal with explosions. Can I deal 12 here though? I think I'm just supposed to explosion this. So I only have 6 and then so I could deal 6 right now and then next turn I deal 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I can only deal 18. So yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and explosion this for 6 and draw 6. I have 4 treasures here, chat. Hey, Azumemel, sorry their interface is Fubard. Welcome back, thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, so the deal that you're getting in the pre-purchase thing is that you're getting cosmetics with it. So you're paying the same price for 50 packs, but you're getting cosmetics in with the deal. So it's a good deal if you like cosmetics, or we're going to buy 50 whatevers anyways. If you're planning on buying 50 packs, you get packs are about $1 each. You get a Liliana with it. Alright, just gotta dodge a removal spell here. Dodge a removal spell, we can dodge a ball. Do I even want to draw with this at this point? I don't think I do. I think I just want these to be huge. This deck seems genuinely sweet. We're gonna add a land and cut the one last cute card from the main, but like the Spell Swindle Expansion Explosion package seems really awesome. Do I have a spoiler? No. Liability. For people who are newer to Magic and my content, Wizard of the Coast doesn't give me anything. That's why I wasn't at the Mythic Invitational, so there won't be any spoilers or officially related things on this channel. I don't know if they're salt roping. They could have just disconnected, right? Like, sometimes real life comes up. I mean, we're really far ahead, to be fair. And our deck is a pile of jank. Alright, let's make a couple of small changes here. Yeah, they probably have some outs, but they're definitely behind at the moment. Hey, Anarok, thanks for the 9 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, I think Storm the Vaults is just too cute. I'm going to finally cut that. We just don't have enough creatures to make it really good. I'm going to add a land. I think Memorial to Genius is exactly the land that I want. There isn't a full art Memorial to Genius. What a crime. Oh, I don't have the Quench yet. Alright, I'm going to do it. Everything that can be pretty is pretty. Does this deck want an Azcanta or two? I don't know if we want Azcanta. So, like, Treasure Map's kind of in that slot. And, like, we have Karn and Expansion Explosion for, like, more card advantage. So, like, I think this last slot, other than the 25th land, I think I just want, like, a third Shivan Fire in the main. I think just, like, having ways to, like... So, basically... This card, this card, this card, these cards, these are like all pretty reasonable against control. So like hedging my bets against aggro doesn't seem unreasonable. Like I basically already have a bunch of cards that are good in those matchups. It could just be another Quench too. Like a third Quench is fine. We played one of those previously. Like Quench is like, this deck doesn't have hard removal, so like having Quench early to like stop things that you otherwise can't take off the table is like pretty reasonable. Although it kind of draws dead at a certain point, so having more than two is probably not great. I could just play something like a Negate in the main. That card's pretty and it's good in a variety of matchups. That seems fine. Yeah, a Miser Niv in the sideboard could be okay. I don't know if he's better than just playing Banefire. But I've got a full art one. Let's put one of him in the board. Mostly because I have a full art one. Now Lookout's Dispersal is not good with one creature in our deck, card variety troll. Gonna draw dead way too often with only 4 creatures. Yeah, flexing the foils on all the plebs. I don't know if I can keep this on the draw. I think I'd keep this on the play, but I think on the draw it just doesn't do anything. I think we just die in too many matchups. Yeah, I have 4 Shivan Fires and 1 Shock in my 75. So, basic mountain into a nice emote on my Fountain of Renewal. Alright, that was an excellent reminder that I need to disable emotes. I'm actually going to go ahead and put this... Look at this! 25th land here coming in clutch. I'm going to put this into play tap so I can guarantee play Sailor of Memes next turn. Well, my updates, my things get toggled between updates, Marty, because I have to reinstall every update because their updater doesn't work under Wine. I could play the Sailor, but I think it's important there to just take this Themekin off the table ASAP. So, I think I want to just, like, nip that right in the bud. Do I want to play Treasure Map out here? I don't think so. I think I want to start holding up some Spell Swindles. Or do I? They're probably going to kill this Sailor, right? Like, the Sailor's either going to eat double burn spell, or it's going to eat, like, a Pyromancer plus a burn spell. The mana efficiency on Quench versus Ionize is pretty important, Life, in my opinion. I think I just want to get map going here. We're snapping off a block here. If this thing trades for Pyromancer plus a burn spell, he did his job. Yep. And then map helps us scry into removal or lands. Happy with either of those. That's pretty terrifying. Again, when people want to make card suggestions for a deck, don't just say, is this card good, and expect me to shoot it down or tell you yes or no. Tell me what problem you think my deck has, and why the card you're suggesting solves that problem. That's a good way to get into the mindset of thinking critically about the decisions that you're making while you play, and help you become a better deck builder and tuner yourself. Magic's a really complicated game. There's lots of different combinations of cards that can fit into lots of different decks. We're probably dead here. Well, if we keep getting lucky, maybe we're okay. Because it's a bad joke, Turkey Sloth. A meme is a bad joke. The googly eyes were in fact only here for a day. It's a little unfortunate that we drew all of our Spell Swindles in this matchup. Like, obviously not the matchup where we want that to happen. These cards are going to get sideboarded out here, believe it or not. Looks like, Experimental Frenzy's messed up enough that it's going to beat our turn 1 Fountain of Renewal. Belong here. Short stream today. Yeah, my Monday, Tuesday, my Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, I'm going till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. At least until after the new set releases. I'll be kicking my hours back up once the new set releases, but between now and then I'm going to have more realistic work hours. So Rekindling Phoenix matchup. It blocks well and it closes quickly. I don't know that I want to cut anything, though. I think Karn and Treasure Map are probably enough of a win condition along with this occasionally. So normally we'll do 4 standard decks on the shorter days, but Arena had 2 hours of downtime this morning, so we're only doing 3 because we did 2 modern decks while it was down. I promise my personal life is really dry. I'm ending the stream at more reasonable times so I can do things like go to the gym. I have 2 children under the age of 6. My life isn't terribly exciting. Kill it with fire! Fantastic. Karn's actually one of our better cards in this matchup. Not only does he provide a steady stream of cards for us to play, but he also creates very large things alongside Treasure Map. Hopefully they cast a burn spell pre-combat and we get to expansion it back at their Pyromancer. If they cast a light up the stage, do I copy it? It's possible I'm just supposed to take a draw step here, so that way if I hit the 4th land naturally, I can play Karn this turn. How does this deck win? Our win conditions are in our hand. Both of these cards win the game. Please cast a Shock or a Wizard's Lightning, opponent. Rats. Hey, Cloud. Thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. There's a good chance we just die here. Would not be super surprised if they killed us in response. And now, like, I don't want an expansion explosion because I want these treasures to make my card struct larger. Yeah, probably did here. I thought about bringing in Phoenix. The fact that they boarded in Lava Coil is a reason to not do that. Yeah, things are just a little bit too awkward for us. We needed our copies of like Shocks and Lava Coil early. Just did not hit them. That's fine. That was our freebie, right? We just rolled past the, Just rolled past... Yeah, I could have expansioned the Lava Coil, but then it ran me out of treasures, and then, like, I don't have anything else going on, and I'm likely still dead regardless of what we do there. I don't think we had any decisions we can make that were different there. Opponent played well, not playing their removal spells out while we had Expansion Explosion up. If they'd have been a little bit more aggressive, we would have expansioned them out of the game. Yeah, expansion copying sorceries ignores timing restrictions. Esper control. Yep. Moto has a defined ceiling for how high the viewer count can be. And it's much lower than the ceiling for what Arena's viewer count is. I wonder if this mana base wants a couple copies of Field of Rune. It could probably support it. So they know this is coming. Let's say, so their hand must not be very good. I'm gonna take Kaya's Wrath, I guess, here. Yeah, I agree, Rock. I think Moto would be able to have a lot higher viewer count easily if it was just had an extension that worked with it. I think that would go a long way. Like, obviously, it doesn't fix everything, but it would go a long way towards making it better. Yeah, the rate of play on Moto also really drags. Alright, we took your Kaya's Wrath, and you discarded another one earlier, so let's get in for 3.
For a break.
Alright, on to the next one. Onward, upward, backward, forward. Cut all these cards that are bad against control. Man, look how clean that is. It's almost like when I built this deck, I had a plan. We had all these cards that were bad against control, and then we get to switch them out. How do you feel about Star of Extinction versus Sailor? I think I actually like 2 stars over Sailor. This is like an expensive way to kill Teferi, and it also takes their search off the table. Let's give this a try. This was not strictly a build-around submission. It was something someone had submitted previously that we then tuned and are tuning further. I do think I want a couple of Field of Runes in the mana base, though. I think the mana can probably support, like, 2 fields. Our casting restrictions aren't that strict in this deck, and Field of Runes is, like, slow fixing it away. Yeah, Sailor and Treasures both fix in a pinch to a degree as well. I agree with that assessment. Quench is a sweet one for them to not know about. Well, I meant to scry during my upkeep there, but the stops on this application aren't permanent, so here we are. Quench gets a small bit worse. We would have hit our land last turn. Quench gets a small bit worse when they know about it, but not too much worse. Treasure map's gonna get to flip on over here and let us start generating some cards, which is nice. The surgical meme deck was unplayable as predicted. Hopefully we get to Spell Swindle something at some point, and then they all turn into cards. Spell Swindle! I think I'm actually gonna... I'm probably not gonna burn this other treasure. Having the tempo gain from having extra mana is probably valuable. How do you feel about my 1/4? Does it make you feel things? You've absorbed my Sailor of Means. Your turn. No, Magic standard format only rotates in the fall. So Magic will not have a rotation until October. They must have a ton of counter spells here, right? I'm just gonna pass for now. If they were willing to absorb Sailor, I feel like their hand has to be just mono counter spells. The position we're currently in, I don't think there's any reason to be super aggressive. With the Spell Swindles and the other counters to back them up. I think I have enough at this point because I can Spell Swindle plus play a second counter still. If they counter this, I'm probably just going to let it happen. They could have a Vraska's Contempt, but then that gives me something to start Spell Swindling over. I'm just going to let that one go. Every counterspell they play makes it more likely that my Swindle resolves down the line. And if my Swindle resolves on anything reasonable, it's going to give me a bunch of card draws. I'm actually going to go ahead and take a card draw with my Treasure Cove at this point, because I want to try and just hit my land drops. I have enough lands in play that I no longer need the treasures for potential tempo. I have enough mana to Spell Swindle plus double counter now, which is pretty great. How do we feel about that one? Seems pretty good. Ephemeral, thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. This seems much better than Banefire. Alright, and then I'm going to stroke this, and then they'll counter my stroke, but then Niv drew 3 cards, so like, deal. And like, if they like untap and play Teferi, I then have Star of Extinction plus a Negate to take Teferi down. There should probably be 2 of these in the deck. Partly because he's beautiful. He's beautiful, that's for sure. Do 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 do. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Well, shoot. We in fact flew too close to the sun. think I just pass for now. And unfortunately, they still have enough mana to absorb through my Quench. Definitely have enough mana to negate through my Quench. Karn plus Tezzeret might be able to keep up with Teferi. Maybe. That just happened.
I will defend my allies. Well chosen.
Why are you interested in slamming Tez? Why is that a good play? It doesn't seem like a particularly good play on my end. Alright, so I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 mana altogether. So if I want to Explosion this Teferi for 2, I can still Spell Swindle, right? Because this costs me... So I have 9, 13, so this costs me 6, which leaves me 7 left over. I think we killed Teferi on their upkeep here. I don't think we're countering on their turn. I think we're countering on their turn. I think we're pretty happy to counter on their turn. So if I do 4, this is 8, and 8 out of 13 leaves me 5, right? 9, 13.
Really should have seen that coming.
Yes, you should have, Teferi. Treasures! Treasures! Alright, so I have 9, 10, 14 mana currently. Grow, my Karn struct! Grow! Do 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 do. Yeah, rain money, rain money. You know, I think when they played the second Teferi into the Spell Swindle, they didn't realize the Spell Swindle was going to give me enough treasures to cast the Spell Swindle on the third Teferi. I think they were going to get... I think they thought they were going to get to go Teferi and resolve the second one. But the first Spell Swindle enabled the second one. Which was sweet. As always, the deck list can be found on the stream overlay or by typing !deck in chat or going to my Stream Decker page. So long, Negate, you'll be missed. Yeah, I think this is probably worse than just having another Niv in my deck. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the split's okay. Like, drawing this really late is, like, obviously just lethal. They took my Karn, that's interesting. And they binned a Teferi, so they're struggling for lands. It's a good pickup. Gosh, this card is beautiful. Did they not have Thief of Sanity? Banefire looking better than Niv there. I'm gonna wait a turn so I can play the Phoenix with Negate up to protect it. Maybe I'm supposed to counter that just to keep them stumbling. They have a Spell Pierce in their deck. They keep shocking in this 5th land. Am I actually about to get Spell Pierced? I was a little concerned there, chat. I was a little concerned. It was like,
Let's slow this down. Reverse.
This Defree could easily take over the game. I think it was wrong for me to not negate their Chemist's Insight the turn I played the Phoenix. I think that was a mistake on my part. There's a good chance I die with these negates in my hand. I think I actually have to bottom this because I just want this Phoenix. It's also possible that I should just, like, draw that, kill this, negate. Well, I want the Phoenix to block this, right? I want to be able to block this inside of combat. If they have a hostage taker here, I'm just, like, DOA, though. Nah, it's been a lot of everything, Danon. It's our first time playing Esper today in, like, 3 or 4 matches. There's a good chance this doesn't end well for us. They have a lot of cards. This is really aggressive.
This isn't a fight you can win.
DOA, dead on arrival.
Time is much more malleable than people think.
Yeah, and I think, like, again, I think this really comes back to I used my mana incorrectly earlier, not negating that Chemist's Insight, because if I would have negated the Chemist's Insight, I could have induced a stumble on them, which then would have given me more time to leverage the cards that I had. Yeah, we're very dead zone. Hey, Kavana bro, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, Def Minus and Thief is a solid combo, right? Like, takes things fully out of play. For all of my non-sub watchers, something that's new starting this week per my agreement with Tempo Storm is they're requiring us to run a minimum number of ads per hour through Twitch. So all of my non-subs are about to see, most of my non-subs are about to see a 2-minute ad. I'm contractually obligated to do this thereabouts. So, sorry. Thanks for hanging out. See you soon. For all the other people who are still here, thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna wait like 60 seconds before we hop into the queue so people don't miss too much of the actual magic. Oh no! The pre-release thing is just sitting here taunting us, chat. At least it has animation when I click on it. At least it has animation when we click on it. If you're gonna be buying at least 50 packs just to open, you should probably buy this because it comes with a sleeve and a Planeswalker, so good value. Pick the lock. I need someone who knows how to pick a lock. Is that possible? Best thing about sub only is they can't complain about the ads. That's very true. I'm interested to see what the viewer count does. Like I said, they originally wanted me to run 6 minutes of ads per hour, and I told them that was absurd, and I've agreed to 2. I don't know what the metrics are, Puffed, okay? This is all an experiment for me. I have no idea if a 2-minute ad once per hour is more or less effective than 30-second ads 4 times per hour. Like, I have no idea what's more or less disruptive. So if this is something I'm going to have to do, it's going to require experimentation. 6 minutes an hour is an absurd amount, I agree. Apparently, it's something Twitch is pushing on all people who are affiliated with esports org, so it's not just Tempo Storm. You can't do it before the stream starts. They have to be in each individual hour. Look at how beautiful this hand is. The Quench. I love the cards that have the small shimmer even when you're not mousing over them. Correct. It is a high volume of ads. It might get you some new subs. It's tough, right? Like, so the problem is that while there are some people that will cause to sub that wouldn't otherwise sub, it's going to cause an attrition rate among non-subs even more who are going to go to somewhere else, because not every stream is affiliated with Twitch officially, right? So, like, there's other streams, like a lot of the MPL members, for instance, that won't be required to run ads because they're not affiliated with the Twitch team. I actually haven't been doing my own shilling, which, nice Goblin Shade Whirler light up the stage deck. I think I'm just going to pass with the Quench up here. Just doop. I haven't been shilling because I'm still trying to find a balance in all of this. Because when things change, it throws me off my norm. Did the Pro Tour Warriors deck have light up the stage in it? I don't remember it including that card. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing by running 2 minutes of ads per hour. By running 2 minutes of ads per hour, I can guarantee I'm not playing while the ads are running. But, like, if I agreed to the 6 minutes of ads per hour that they wanted, there's no way I could reasonably not have gameplay during ads. And also, like, subs don't want to sit around for 6 minutes an hour, right? Like, that's crappy content. Rude. Bye-bye map. Yeah, I mean, like, people can, you can compare it to network TV if you want, but, like, this isn't network television, and there's a lot of people that are here with Twitch on who are here because they don't want to watch network television and be subject to that. I agree, Teacup. That's why when they asked me to run 6 minutes of ads per hour, I said no. Like, I understand their businesses at the end of the day, they need to make money too, but, like, there are certain things it's like, this is gonna lose you money overall. It's gonna lose both of us money. Yep. Yeah, the ad took us down about 100 viewers, which is about what happened earlier during Modern. So, yeah. Because again, I feel like, especially in the Magic section, running manual Twitch ads is not the norm. So, like, by doing this, I'm outside the norm, and people can change to other channels that aren't doing that. Probably dead here. I guess I could draw a fire or a Lava Coil. I'm actually not sure if that agreement is okay, Vel. I hope I don't get in trouble for talking about it, but I'm actually waiting for my contact within Tempo Storm to go talk to the appropriate people and find out that it's okay for me to only do 2 minutes per hour. That might not be okay. They might not have a say in it. So I don't know. But I think I want to trim some of this top end here. Tezzeret seems kind of mediocre. I keep my expansion explosions, I think. They're flexible. They can double up my removal spells like on turn 3 and stuff. I don't know, Lizardio. There are infinite combinations of things. Not infinite, but there's a reasonable combination of things. And the first thing I'm starting with is running 1 2-minute ad break per hour. The other thing is there's a human element to all of this too, as well, which is that I have to remember to run these ads, because if I agree to 2 minutes per hour and then I forget to run them, I'm in breach of a contract. So, like, I am less likely to forget to run them if it's 1 2-minute break per hour rather than 4 30-second breaks. Like, keeping track of how many ad breaks have I run is more complicated. Like, I'm just one dude behind a computer trying to, like, play Magic while I do all this, right? Have a good one, Gittle. No, the banners that I plug don't count towards these metrics that I'm talking about, Danon. And yeah, I'm kind of keeping track of that too. So, like, the other thing is, like, now if I'm doing my own personal ad breaks less often, like, now those people are getting less value from the money they're paying me. So, like, it's harder to sell that ad space if they're competing with other ad density on my stream. And I also just don't want to be Star City Games doing only ads and no actual Magic, right? Like, that sucks as well. So it's like, the money I'm getting from Tempo Storm plus the ad breaks from Twitch then has to be worth any lost revenue from changing those other ads. Just, there's a lot of factors. The business back end of making this a job has a lot to go into it. This has made it more complicated for me. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't talk about this on stream. Money's supposed to be taboo to talk about, right? You're not supposed to talk about how money works.
I'll make use of that later.
I think I just want to hold up Quench here. Jill Killa, thank you for the Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. Correct, Blackheart. That is why the money talk is taboo. Keeping talking about money taboo takes power away from real people and gives it to the hands of the corporations that pay them. But based on a marketing class I took last semester, one long ad would be better than a bunch of small ones. Yeah, that was my gut instinct, which is why I'm starting there. I also think every time I run an ad, regardless of the duration of the ad, I'm likely to have some amount of my audience attrition from having run that ad. so... I think whether it's 30 seconds or 2 minutes, most people who are going to leave are going to leave regardless, so I'd rather have people leave once per hour rather than 4 times per hour. I'm going to attack with this, I'm going to attack with that. I feel like I need to start killing them here. Expansion Explosion will let us draw a bunch of cards next turn, which is nice. Probably down-tick the Karn. If I down-tick the Karn, I have 6, 7 mana, so the Expansion Explosion deals 3. Plus this, it can kill a Growth Chamber Guardian. Well, I mean, the TLDR of it, Genesis, is that I'm not running 6. So, like, if my rep comes back to me and says you can't do 2, you have to run 6 to stay affiliated, I just won't be affiliated with Tempo Storm anymore. And I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping that they're willing to work with me and I can still work with them, but, like, working with them is not worth running 6 minutes of ads an hour on my channel. It makes the content worse, which is just, yeah, that's the long and short of it at the end of the day. Plus, you got the sweet share already. Yep. We're not gonna take my stuff, right? I get to keep my stuff. Stuff. One of your finest explosions, please. I think Modern's hit that point for a lot of people, Scion. And, like, the biggest thing that people have to remember is that Magic's kind of cyclical, right? So, like, the reason why Modern had a huge upswing when it did is because Standard was in a really bad spot. And now, like, Standard is great and Modern's on kind of a downswing. So, like, Magic's great because it lets it be a lot of different games, right? I did not know this was coming. This was not a part of our original agreement. So they requested me to sign an updated contract requiring 6 minutes of ads per hour. I told them that was not something I was willing to do, so we've been talking about it. 2 minutes an hour was my counteroffer. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded here. I'm going to run it back. Yeah, I agree, ET4. Well, and remember, subs don't see ads, so the ad volume doesn't directly impact subs so much as it would impact my ability to attract new subs to replace the old ones that just attrition out naturally. Yeah, I'd maybe be willing to do 3. Yeah, it would hinder growth, and growth needs to exist to just stop decay that's expected, basically. I think regular affinity list is better than hardened scales. I can get the rest to change, however, I can't tell if it's worth it. I think that's genuinely just an instance of these things are kind of different as opposed to one being strictly better or worse than the other. Like, I think hardened scales does some things better than affinity, and affinity does some things better than hardened scales. We actually have there's an affinity list featuring Experimental Frenzy that I've heard good things about that's in my deck queue. We'll be getting to that sometime, probably next week or the week after. I'm going to play Rekindling Phoenix to start, see where we go from there. I'm amused that you're using attrition in the normal context because I'm imagining myself being attritioned out by Golgari mid-range. So, the ads that are run, I do get some amount of money for, but it's not enough money to make it be worth annoying people with, is basically the TLDR. There's a reason why before they asked me to run them, I didn't run them. So, like, yes, running these 2 minutes of ads per hour is going to net me more ad money, but I think it is incredibly likely to cost me money in other areas by annoying people and stunting growth and stuff like that. This Cinder Vines might actually kill us, which is awkward. Alright, Karn. You do you. Vocalist, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm going to leave this where he is, because I don't want them to, like, play a 3-3 with haste and smack me or Karn. This is a dragon. Growth Chamber, also not good for us, though. He brings a lot of friends with him, chat. If our hand had spells in it, we'd be in an okay spot. Alright. Alright, we had a double spell card. That's good, that's good. That's what we needed. We needed a double spell card. Are spells good? If so, why? Can we start down-ticking Karn? Like, how long does that take to be useful, though? Like, I don't have any other artifacts going on. Like, if I had a treasure map or something else to pump out artifacts, yeah, down-ticking Karn seems great. One of your finest blocks, please. So, if we have a double spell turn next turn, we might pull ourselves back into this. I don't know, the endless flow of Squadron Crabs is pretty tough to beat. Wouldn't mind drawing an Expansion Explosion next turn. Yeah, the problem, Tom, is I'm gonna die before I can use these cards. The issue isn't that I don't have cards that I have access to. The issue is that I'm gonna die before they're relevant. Phoenix is a great draw. It's a card that closes, assuming they don't have a Lava Coil, it's a great draw. It's a card that closes and plays defense nicely. What would I need to donate? My rules are strict for cutting lines, as in taught. That requires a big donation to cut something into today's stream. $50. I just like things to be expected, like predictable for people when they fire it up. I don't want people like nickel and diming each other to like make me fighting over changing the schedule at the end. There's too much extra to keep track of for something that ultimately annoys people. Yeah, it'll be up tomorrow most likely. Oh, double spell Karn, please. All right. Might get a treasure map here. Shivan Fire. Okay. We might get the opportunity to crack Memorial to Genius this turn with minimal downside, which would be nice. And then Karn, guaranteed. I guess I might plus Karn again next turn. The treasure map's not very good at this point. Well, normally I do 4 standard decks on Tuesday. It's just, I'm ending by 3 today, around 3, and Arena had downtime. So my normal plan on these shorter days is 1 Modern, 4 Standard, but Arena's downtime changed that for today. What's going on, Conqueror? That's a heck of a Magic the Gathering card. All right, I think I have Quenches in my deck still, right? Let's try and draw one. Oh! Ah! Oh, baby. Oh, baby. We're probably still dead here, but it felt good on the inside. It felt visceral, chat. It felt wonderful. Just wonderful. Alright, so we got 7, 8 mana total. I could down-tick Karn, get Treasure Map, and then I can play, activate Treasure Map, and still kick the Shivan Fire, which is nice. Your primal scream terrified by dog. God bless. That was the goal. That was the goal. Okie doke. I really need to find more copies of Phoenix at this point. Just because I need non-spell ways to close the game out, basically. I guess I can start... This treasure map's en route to flipping, so I can start down-ticking on this Karn aggressively. Is probably the line at this point. Like, just put a pile of constructs into play. Because, like, if I make Karn structs the next 3 turns, this is flipping next turn. So this will actually be attacking as a 5/5 next turn. Which, with these Shivan Fires, is going to punch through pretty quick. You think Vines is going to stop the flip? I mean, that takes the Vines off the table then, though, which is good for me. And, like, the Karn tokens are still, like, going to do some stuff, especially once I punch through. And maybe the Scries off the treasure maps can find me another Karn. It is. Thank you for pointing the Vines out, though. I definitely wasn't thinking about that, killing my artifacts. That card's really good against us, huh? The upkeep stop looks good. Do we have another Siege Gang commander here? Angrath the Flame Chained. Is that lethal? That is almost lethal, right?
You're just fuel.
Oh, we're just doing that. Sure.
No fire, no steel.
I mean, they missed lethal if they, like, play around nothing, right? I have spells in my hand, chat. Because they're acting like I have spells in my hand because I do have spells. They couldn't just put me to 2. I'd have killed their Phoenix. Do I play around another Angrath? I can't beat another Angrath regardless, right? No, I totally can. Oh, they may Cindervines the 5/5. That's true. I could do this. I keep forgetting about this stupid thing. So I do this. This dies the second Angrath out of the opponent, though. I think this is the best play. I lose the second Angrath, though. Yeah, Groll Spellbreaker also kills me, but I need to take the Angrath off the table. I guess I could leave this back. If I leave this back, I don't die to Groll Spellbreaker. So yeah, I should leave this back because I still have lethal next turn and I don't die to Groll Spellbreaker.
Here be monsters.
Well played. That was a really close game. Yeah, we were dead to second Angrath regardless, right? Because I just couldn't do anything about the bird. I could have to not be dead to second Angrath, I could have held the Shivan Fire, right? I could have held the Shivan Fire. I could have held the Shivan Fire and attacked everything into Angrath. So, like, if I don't... Yeah, I know I still kill the first Angrath. Oh, because then they could chump block here and then block this. They could chump block here, vines this, and then this puts it to 1. But I think that's still a better spot for us, right? Like, this would have gotten destroyed by this. This would have gotten chump blocked by this. This would have put Angrath to 1. Then I take 2, but I don't die to the second Angrath because I take 2, and then I can Shivan Fire my Phoenix in response to the second Angrath taking it. Yeah, I think I live there if I attack everything at the Angrath. I play around the second Angrath by doing that. Because then if they uptick the first one, put me to 4, play the second one, take the Phoenix, and try to attack, when they go to take the second Phoenix, I Shivan Fire it in response, and then I have lethal on the backswing, right? Not quite, because this would have died, but I still wouldn't have died to their Angrath. No. Yeah, so I could have played around the second Angrath by holding the Shivan Fire. It means, and like, there's also the discussion of, this is why Magic's such a deep game, right? Like, there's also the discussion of, am I supposed to play around exactly second Angrath? Because playing around second Angrath gives them an extra draw step, right? Because playing around second Angrath means they're not dead on board the following turn. So it could be right to not do that. Uptick on Angrath first makes you discard the Shivan Fire, right? I Shivan Fire my Phoenix in response. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's probably right to not play around the second one, just because I don't have lethal. Double Angrath uptick plus Vines lethal. All right, yeah, so we're just dead regardless. Yeah, that's true. They don't need to downtick because it's 2-2 and then yeah, okay. So we were dead to Angrath no matter what we did. I don't know. I like the build we ended up at. I don't think I'd change anything in this. Maybe you could talk about putting another Niv in the board, but I kind of like the split of Niv and Banefire just because I like the flexibility on Thief Insanity. I think we had some kind of bad beats in the couple of matches that we lost there, but the deck plays a lot of close games. It's got some interesting play patterns to it. So if you're looking for a blue-red kind of combo-ish control deck that gets to leverage Expansion Explosion that isn't some kind of cheesy Reclamation deck, I think this deck's a lot of fun and pretty reasonable.